Hey, it's TrackstarGGs, back with another video in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Today, we're going to be talking about the new DLC, Gluttons Gamble, and if it's up to par compared to the first DLC, Coil Captors. Due to the nature of the first DLC, I kept my expectations extremely low for this DLC, given Gearbox didn't even release the trailer in advance. They chose to release this content drop at random. I had a feeling that this mirror would also contain a boss that evolved week by week, so I launched the game offline and found that I could still do all 4 phases of the boss on day 1. So I did, and it took me 40 minutes. I find it funny that the loot is associated with the week and the boss form, although I can get all of this loot by defeating the first fight once and opening up the possibility for these new levels to be included in the chaos chambers. And adding a gingerbread costume to skeletons is not a new enemy. Here's the proof that the loot is already dropping, regardless of the week. Pause the video to see the stats. Although some of these items aren't primordial or volatile, we can generally assume what the stats would look like if they were those variants. The new armor, the miasmic mail of the Fixer, is definitely going to work well with contagion builds, and Stabbomancer, Clawbringer, or Spore Warden builds. Now to talk about the updates and fixes added to the game. The Wheel of Fate in Dreamville Overlook has been updated to drop more items along with moon orbs and gold. I still believe that the Wheel of Fate should have 4 sides for 4 players to utilize it at once. It seems Gearbox has nerfed frost damage from guns while also buffing the Queen's Cry and the liquid cooling. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Queen's Cry in a lot more builds post-patch. Next, we have a lot of buffs for the Clawbringer. You can pause the video to read specifically what's been changed, but what I see the most is increased, and that makes me feel excellent because it's not a nerf. Graveborn's Blast Gas nerf is bound to make some people angry. Me personally, I never used the skill. Berserker's Blast Chill and Blast Gap interaction has been nerfed. Blast Chill now only gives a chance to release a Nova on melee attacks instead of all melee damage sources. But the buffs added to Berserker are well appreciated. Spore Warden's Wrath of Nature has been nerfed, but the Affinity's ability damage has been buffed, and also the Bullseye's critical hit chance. Spell Shot's Double Knot has been nerfed, and that's going to make a lot of people angry. We'll see how the slight nerf affects current builds within a couple of days, I'm sure. This week's weekly event targets one of gamers' biggest complaints about armor in the Wonderlands. This week, there's an increased chance for armor to drop in the class you're currently using. The reported concerns for Berserker fixing Enraged while using Reaper of Bones is awesome. I'm also very appreciative of the Clawbringer status and the Graveborn's Faithful Thrall skill bonus being fixed. I do believe that the Stabbomancer Livewire interaction has been nerfed for nothing, and the Spore Warden enchantment, now only scaling off of gun damage instead of both gun damage and ability damage, is a ridiculously unnecessary nerf, and only adds to the reason why I believe there should be no nerfs in this game at all. While I haven't been able to get a Threads of Fate primordial spell for the life of me, I'm definitely interested in how it will properly heal Fate Makers while doing dark magic damage in the future. The achievements have been fixed for side missions, so when you launch the game with this update, you should be able to complete the achievements. Another interesting addition is an enemy scaler to add more enemies when you have a full party in co-op. This isn't the first time they've mentioned this, but last time it didn't make much of a difference. Hopefully this time it does. Now that being said, let's talk about my favorite addition in this new DLC, they have finally added vending machines in the loot bunny room after completing chaos chambers. These vending machines have the same odds of dropping legendary loot as when you used to play offline and use vending machines. I've played offline earlier and recognized that no longer works offline. Offline vending machines do not carry legendary loot anymore, but now you can always find it in the chaos chamber. This loot is static and it will not change regardless of finishing a chaos chamber. The loot under the legendary item will change every time though. All in all, this DLC is extremely disappointing, and I fear it's definitely not enough to get the player base to come back to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Today, I struggled to get a full party. I realized the player base has fallen off because I continually match with the same players I played with yesterday, although we aren't friends. Gearbox isn't doing much to help by adding nerfs to things that people are having fun with instead of adding buffs to things that people aren't having fun with. This isn't that hard to fix, but until Gearbox realizes that no one likes nerfs and things should just be buffed to be viable as the loot that people are using, we may never have a player base that returns to anywhere near the size it was at launch. 3 quick things that could help fix this game and add more content near instantaneously are procedurally generated bounties that fit in Brighthoof and all of the in-map bounty posts that are used for side quests. Number 2 would be a new game plus, which allows me to play the game again at Chaos 35, but I fear Gearbox is holding this back until we reach max Chaos level. Last but not least by any measure, more loot variation. There are weapons in this game that are locked to one specific element and they cannot roll in any other elements regardless of how many times you feed a bunny. With the extreme scarcity of decent weapons, they could easily fix it by adding more element types for weapons that already exist, so my gameplay does not get boring and stale as quickly as it has. This new boss doesn't truly have 4 transformations, it's just 1 transformation when the health is gated during the boss fight. It's inexcusable that this is gonna be an event for 4 weeks when really it's the same content regardless, up until you reach the final boss and hit the health gate. I have other ideas to fix this game, but I'm running out of patience and time left in this video. That being said, thanks for checking in. TrackstarGGs, checking out. Do not subscribe.